Hi, fourth graders. This is Mrs. Pellegrini from 4PG. And since Thanksgiving holiday is coming up shortly, we thought it might be fun to have a read aloud of a fun, relaxing book called The Thanksgiving from the Black Lagoon. You will notice that this is book number 16. And there are many books in the Black Lagoon Adventure series. So if you like this and you find it funny and interesting, these are some books that you can enjoy on your own time, found in our school library, the public library, and also in most of our classroom libraries. So sit back and enjoy. Pay close attention to all of the little cartoons and thought bubbles and speech bubbles. And at the end of the slideshow, there is a brief Google form to fill out. You will notice that there are 11 chapters, but we are going to complete this read aloud in 3 days. What? Yes, 3 days, because you're going to notice that the print is a little large and the chapters are brief. So pay close attention and feel free to go back at any time to look through any of the pages. Enjoy. Chapter 1, For the Birds. It's November. There's a chill in the air. The frost is on the pumpkin and the pumpkin is in the pie. Our class is excited about vacation, but our teacher is excited about learning. So then if you look at all of the speech bubbles and the thought bubbles, we're going to Disney World. Hubie has music going on in his head. A kid says, I'm doing my laundry. And then there's another kid who's snoozing on the desk. He has a crown on. On the next page, we have the teacher who looks like an alligator or a crocodile. And her name is Mrs. Green. Get it? Green, because she's green. And she is teaching math. The square root of 9 is 3. Now, class, take out your history books. And then the kids are having conversations. And Hubie is saying, no, one of the other students, I'm going fishing every day. And then the girl goes, with worms? And then Hubie goes, no, with me. So that's kind of funny. On page 8, who knows what holiday is coming up? Asks Mrs. Green. Derek's hand shoots up. Fall, he shouts. Fall is a season, not a holiday. Mrs. Green smiles. And then the boy raises his hand. I know. And then the girl is thinking, oh, brother. And then on the next page, Eric's hand shoots up. Football, he shouts. Football is a sport, not a holiday. And then you'll see the whole scene, not on my watch, I've got it, crash, and there's all kinds of tackling going on. On page 10, Penny raises her hand and waits to be called on. Yes, Penny, says Mrs. Green. The holiday that is rapidly approaching is Thanksgiving. She smiles and puts her hand down. So now the look on her face, she's saying that that's a sign of confidence. She knew she had the right answer. So on the next page, Mrs. Green says, Thanksgiving falls on the 4th Thursday of every November. And then the little bird is going, I didn't know that. And then another bird goes, nor I. And notice that there's like a snake and a little, looks like a caterpillar and a frog all in the classroom. So very funny. Page 12. That's right, Penny. And where was the first Thanksgiving? Asks Mrs. Green. Derek's hand shoots up. In Turkey, he shouts out. You're a turkey, snickers Eric. It started in Greece. Page 13. It was a greasy turkey, retorts Derek. Now, boys, you're both wrong. Who knows the correct answer? Penny waves her hand in the air, and she's thinking, ugh, don't they ever study? And then the little flower on her desk says, I doubt it. Yes, Penny, says Mrs. Green. Thanksgiving is a uniquely American holiday that was first celebrated in New England in 1621. So here is the conversation that they think is going on in 1621 between the two pilgrims. We're out of food. I'm going hunting. And then the woman says, we need a day off. We need a holiday. And then on page 15, here's the conversation that they think is going on between these two characters. Good idea. We can bring the dessert. And the woman says, I make an excellent pumpkin pie. So I knew that, says Derek. What are some things you enjoy about Thanksgiving? Asks Mrs. Green. We don't have to come to school, shouts out Eric without raising his hand. Chapter 2. Thanks a lot. Mrs. Green smiles. There are a lot of good things about Thanksgiving. We enjoy good food. The Thanksgiving Day parade is fun to watch. But most of all, it's a chance for us to give thanks for all the good things we have. Like football, says Eric. Well, football is certainly one of them, Mrs. Green laughs. And then on the next page, the class got together and thought about all of the things they are thankful for. Family, friends, pets, food, home, good health, teachers, snow days. And that's a really awesome list. Page 18. Penny raises her hand. Yes, Penny? Could we have a Thanksgiving Day parade of our own, she asks. Good idea, says Mrs. Green. With floats and costumes? Asks Penny. And then you have a picture of a float. Now, a float, we know from the Thanksgiving Day parade, the Macy's parade, they're usually on strings and they're high up in the air and they're carried by people. This one just looks like it's floating in the air. And then the little boy goes, why are you in the air? So on page 19, that's a great idea, says Mrs. Green. Who knows how to make a float? Derek's hand shoots up. It's easy, says Derek. You need 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream and 1 can of root beer. So what is he talking about? He's not talking about a parade float. He's talking about a root beer ice cream float. I don't know if you've ever had those, but those are yummy. Chapter 3. Floating alone. When everybody stops laughing and Derek has left for the principal's office, we choose teams to make our floats. I choose Doris, says Penny. Of course, says Eric, and I choose Derek. Come in, Derek. I've been expecting you. Oh, great. Can you see Mr. Morrisseau standing behind the door? Page 21. So now here's a picture. We're back in 1621. There's a nice sized boar. Your wife had her heart set on a turkey. So they're pretending that that's the conversation that's going on between the characters in 1621. Well, that hurt. Randy chooses Freddie and no one chooses me. Oh, poor Hubie. Hubie, whose team would you like to be on? Asks Mrs. Green. I don't want to be on anybody's team, I answer. I'm a team of one. And then the picture of the characters in 1621. I love rabbit stew. Stay focused. So that is the end of chapters 1, 2, and 3. See, I told you they wouldn't be very long chapters. You are going to click on the Google form, but before you fill out the form, please be sure to reread the story and look at all of the pictures. You do not have to listen to the whole read aloud again, but you are encouraged to go back into the slides and you are encouraged to find your answers. There aren't many questions. When you are done, you will receive feedback about which ones you got correct. Have a wonderful day, 4th graders.